Let's talk about uniqueness. Why you need to be unique, why you cannot follow the path of the sheeps, of the herd, why you need to be dog instead of the sheep. This is super simple. Let's just say there's 100 people wanting something. Let's just say, I guess, one girl. There's 100 men that want one girl. Now, there's 90 of those men, aka the 90%. They approach them in one way, in a way that they think is appropriate. I guess some with them pickup line. For example, this is just an example. 90% of those males approach the girl with a pickup line. I guess, hey beauty, you look 9 out of 10, I'm the one you're missing. Something like this, right? Just some goofy ass shit. Now they're probably not going to get it because they are doing stuff like the 90%, like most of the men. And then there's the 10%. Out of those 10%, there are 9% who approach the girl in a different way. Now, the way that they approach the girl guarantees them that they get the number. But the number is not enough. You know, they want to ask her out on a date. But they at least get the number because they're asking them in a way that they get the number, or they approach her in a way that they get the number. But they approach her like the 90% are not approaching, aka they have their own methods, only of which the 9% of the males wanted to approach that girl that night have, aka they already are unique. Then there's the 1%, aka people that call him warrior. The 1% is guaranteed to get that pussy. It's guaranteed to get that girl. How does he do it? How is it possible that one person gets the girl? Well, first of all, you have to realize that the one person is not using pickup lines. He's not doing something that the 90% of those males were doing. Simply not, because he understands that in order to win something, in order to get something, you have to stand out. You have to be unique. This is why startups who basically do the same things fail. And if you want a super powerful startup, you need a unique idea. That's another topic. But the 1% male in this example is just not approaching the woman like the 90% of the male are. That's one thing. Second thing, he's not approaching the woman like the 9% are. Not that either. He's approaching the woman in a way this 9% and 90% are not. This way, since his approach is so unique that the woman has not seen that sort of an approach, that in this example, she just accepts, or I guess, sleeps with him or whatever, aka the 1% wins, because he understands that he has to do everything in the opposite way as the 99% are doing, aka he has to do stuff that the others are not, or what the others are doing differently. He just has to change them up. And that's how he won in this example. Because he's not, I'm going to just eat myself. He does different stuff, not what the other 90% of them are doing. I'm going to bring this into life. You probably know. We all go to school, right? We are all told that we need to go to university in order to get a good job that will pay us well. But if everyone around you goes to university, everyone you know, aka, I guess 80% of the population goes to university, well, guess what? How much of them are going to turn out, I don't know, millionaires, super successful, building their own companies, stuff like this. That's at least what I want. Then tell me, how are they going to do that if they follow the path that 90% people around them are doing? Just tell me. I just don't understand how they're going to achieve those goals, aka building a business, successful business, achieving over $1 million in sales, stuff like this. How are they going to do that if they take the traditional path, the path that almost everyone around them is doing, that almost everyone in their life is telling is right? It's just not possible. It's just not possible. So this is why there was a study actually in some Chinese school, MIT school, whatever it was, that the higher the score that you got on the final test, the less likely you were to end up as a successful person, aka a person with a lot of money, or a person with a successful business. You were less likely to achieve that. But the person that has the lowest test count, and obviously there are some exceptions, but most of the guys that got lower test results were the ones that built businesses, that got successful later in their life, because they knew that they cannot take the path of the 90%. They have to do something differently. And caring about test results is one of the things they knew they had to let go. Because that's just not it. So, just think about this. If you ever want to achieve something, then you cannot do stuff in a way that you see most of the people doing on social media. You have to take some different approach. And this is why we built Foundation. So you could find people like this who have already walked the path that you have, where we have weekly calls where we talk about stuff, what you're doing, if you're working on the right things, how your day is looking like, if you're working enough, how you're working out, stuff like this. We have this indistinguishable platform, a complete custom platform with private servers with no data being shared outside of it. So if you're interested in anything like this, then you have to get into the waitlist, because we only accept few people every month with invite codes. So yeah, that's about it. Just remember, you have to stay unique. That's it.